People always want to ask, how do I grow? How do I gain wisdom? And they ask that questions because it's human nature to want to become better, to want to have more, to want to be different, and to see changes in one's life. So, how do you gain wisdom? How do you acquire knowledge? In my opinions, there are two ways. One way is to gather wisdom from your own life. What have you learned from your own experiences up until now? The other is to study the life of others. What have they done? How have they grown? How have they succeeded in what they're doing? And if you do this, you'll be able to analyze and see the difference from one to the other. You see, experience can become a commodity, a currency, or even a coin. It's an incredible source of value. And then if you ponder on it, you can then turn it into something of value. After all, it's not what happens to a person that makes the difference, or so much so on how his or her life turns out. That's really not that. Rather, it's what he or she does with what happens that determines the outcome. It's something that makes a difference. And you have to reflect on this at the end of each major period in your life. At the end of each year, each month, each week, even each day. I personally, at the end of each day, take an account of everything I have done. In my nightly prayers before I go to sleep, I recount my day. What has happened? Could I have done more? Did I do everything I could have done? And these things make me reflect exactly what happened and whether or not the next day I should make it better. And it always gives me the information that I need. Then you do the same thing at the end of each week, reflecting on the previous week. Then you should do the same thing at the end of each month, and then at the end of each year. Sophisticated people have learned how to gather up the past and invest it into the future. Imagine what you can do if you take all of that information that you've acquired up until now and turn it into a commodity that you can use. Now, you might not be able to do all the things that you find out, but you make sure that you find out all that you can do. You don't want to live your life only to find out that ultimately you lived only 1/10 of it, or that you let the other 9/10 go down the drain. That's not what you want. You need to study the negatives and the positives, the failures and the successes. Learn from everything that you're doing, and you don't take too long for that. You should do it in the proper time. And I suggest that you do one more thing. Ask for God's help so that you can succeed in the way that will get you where you need to be. After all, you deserve it. Learning from others can be either an example or a warning. You need to be careful about that. The Bible is full of these stories. The things that are good are examples. Follow those, understand them, and become close to them. The ones that are not good are warnings. Stay away from them. They're not good to follow, and they're not good for you or for the rest of the world. Now make sure you make the right choice. If you like what you've heard, please let us know by leaving a comment below. We would really appreciate it if you would be kind enough to like, share, and even subscribe. Feel free to follow us also on Facebook. Thank you for your support.